Ristas, Krimvase Azantes, welcome video lovers, welcome back to TAC Nerd 1.0. Folks, you have happened upon us on a day of contemplation. Got a couple rifles out here on the bench. What I wanted to talk about today is something that can be a little controversial in the gun industry, and that is tube-fed magazines. Some people love them, some people hate them, some people just put up with them. But I wanted to cover in this video some of the advantages that you may have in using tube-fed mag. Let's just get everyone on the same page. What exactly is a tube-fed magazine? Well, it's pretty much exactly what it says. There is a tube, literal tube below the barrel, which holds all of your rounds. And in this example here, this is my Henry H001, the rounds are fed directly into the tube right here. Now there are several types of tube-fed magazines. There's the ones like these. This is a Marlin 81. You've seen this one on the channel before. This feeds pretty much exactly the same way. Rounds are fed directly into the tube, and there is this brass plunger that pushes them down. There are other tube-fed magazines. Most pump-action shotguns are going to be tube-fed. Those operate a little something different, where the rounds are fed underneath and right into the back of the tube, and then they have a spring that pushes them down. There's also other lever actions, such as the Winchester and the Marlin variety, where the rounds are fed into the action, usually right here, and then those feed directly into the tube, again, at the back of the tube, and then they feed up forward. This design has been around for over a century now, and it is well renowned for its robust design, its ease of use, and its reliability. But first, we're going to go over some of the advantages to the tube-fed magazine. First is the reliability of these weapons, and they are quite simple. Round comes up through the tube, into the chamber. This one is fed with a lever action. You also might have an option like this one is fed with a bolt, but it's the same principle. Round comes up through the tube, into the chamber. That is the first major advantage of a tube-fed magazine. That is its simplicity. Fewer moving parts compared to a box magazine. There is much less that can go wrong. If you're having trouble with your firearm, probably the first thing you're going to check is the magazine. And a lot of times, that's going to be the cause. You have a poor magazine, that's going to be your problem. Now, with tube-fed, you eliminate all of those troubles. Now, there are still springs that keep this magazine fed, but again, it's a much simpler system. This simplicity translates directly into reliability, which is crucial in many situations. If you're hunting in rough terrain, if you need dependable home defense firearm, knowing that your gun is going to function when you need it is a big deal. Hunters especially appreciate this feature. There is less to clean, less to maintain, and that means more time focusing on the hunt. All right, advantage number 2 is topping off a rifle or unloading a rifle. Much easier with tube-fed magazines than a box magazine design. The significant advantage here is the ability to top off the magazine at any time. With a tube-fed, you can add rounds to the magazine whenever you have a moment. If you're walking through the woods and you've just taken some shots, it's very easy. Just turn the rifle over, pop out the magazine, feed a few more in, and you're good. If you have loading directly into the action, all you have to do, grab a couple rounds, feed them in. That's an even quicker option. Now, these tube feds that go through the tube, they can be a bit more cumbersome. In my opinion, that's one of the reasons why Henry switched a lot of their big boy lever actions to side loading. This is especially useful in situations where you might not want to get caught with an empty gun. Like when you're out hunting, the prey is ready to cross your lines, you're not going to have to worry because you are already topped off on your way there. Okay, folks, advantage number 3, balance of the weapon. As you can see, these tube-fed designs most often go the full length of the barrel. Now, there are some that may cut off maybe to about here, My 3030 is like that. It's the Trapper design, but basically it's the same idea. Because tube-fed magazines run parallel to the barrel, they distribute weight more evenly through the length of the firearm. And this can make a big difference in how the gun handles. And if you've ever shot a Marlin 81, you'll know how accurate these can be. Not that a lot of 22 is going to add that much weight, but again, it will make a difference. In contrast, box magazines, they concentrate the weight below the receiver. This can change the center of gravity as you use up rounds. But with a tube-fed magazine, the balance tends to remain more consistent throughout your shooting sessions. And in addition, because it's easier to add rounds as you go, you can keep this weapon full and you can keep your balance throughout the hunt. For hunters or anyone carrying a rifle over long distance, this balanced weight distribution can make the gun feel lighter and easier to maneuver, and it is a huge advantage on long treks through the woods. Okay, folks, advantage number 4. This is traditional appeal and aesthetics. And let's be honest, part of the appeal of tube-fed magazines is their classic look. Lever action rifles and pump shotguns have a timeless style that never seems to go out of fashion. These have been around for well over 100 years. Doesn't look like they're going anywhere. In fact, lever action guns in the last couple years have made a huge resurgence. Everyone wanted lever actions, and especially everyone wanted 357 lever actions. They were like hen's teeth. They were almost impossible to find and were going for primo cash. For those who appreciate the history and tradition of firearms, there is something special about owning and shooting tube-fed rifles. It's sort of a direct connection to the past. It's got that Old West appeal. And if you want to do cowboy action shooting, you're perfectly all set and ready for it. Not to mention, lever actions can get pretty darn fast, as can pump action firearms. Definitely faster than bolt action, and as long as you know what you're doing, again, very reliable. Okay, folks, last one, advantage number 5, and I think this is a big one. Capacity, flexibility. 2 things here. First off, with different types of rounds, and that goes especially for these 22 rifles, you can fit more or less rounds in it. If you want to go 22 short, you're going to be able to fit more in here than if you're just doing 22 long rifle. That can be a big advantage if you're just shooting squirrels or small game or such like that. 22 short, believe it or not, can do a considerable job. This comes especially useful in shotguns. For example, you may want to load a couple slugs for larger game, then go down to some buckshot. You could even use mini shells, all in the same tube without having to load or unload or load another magazine or anything like that. It really does allow you to have a different set of ammunition that you may want. Now, you are going to have to memorize where those rounds are in the tube, but again, it does offer you some discretion over how you want to load. Now, this even works for rifles such as Marlins and Winchesters. For some reason, if you want to load heavier loads first and then follow it up with lighter loads, that's something you can do. Really does allow you a greater flexibility of how you want your rounds to be, and a lot of people will do that. Now, even in these 22s, if you wanted to, for some reason, you could even use that 22 shot ammo, which I'll tell you right now, pretty much useless. But if you wanted to, you could put that in here, follow it up with a couple 22 shorts, and then maybe follow that up with a couple 22 longs. Whatever you want to do, you can mix and match, and you don't have to worry about feeding issues. Can you load different size ammo in box-fed magazines? Yes, you can, but I will tell you, it's not uncommon for that to cause feeding issues. So there you have it. There are the top advantages of tube-fed magazines. From the simplicity, the reliability, the ability to top off you as you go, the balanced weight, the classic look, and the ability to load different types of ammo. Whether you're a hunter, sports shooter, enthusiast, or just someone who appreciates well-built firearms, tube-fed magazines offer a lot of variability, and they bring a lot of charm to the table, as you can see. So folks, I hope you got something out of this. I hope this was helpful to all of you. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, please leave them down here below in the doobly-doo. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. And do me this favor, fire off a shot at that bell notification to make sure you are notified of all of our videos as they drop bright and shiny early, 9 a.m. Folks, I am out of here. That's it. I'm done. Tac Nerd signing out.